Again, I'm here with my Uncle Dallas, and it's December 30th, and I'm interviewing him about his life and recollections in St. Louis County. We've talked a lot about his work history, and now I'd like to just ask him a little bit about his personal life. So, you started working in 1960. When were you married? How many children did you have? And that type of thing.
I was married, and first time was in '59, and first daughter was born, and I married Bonnie Edding, and Vicky was our first child. She was our only child, but she was born in December of '59, and Bonnie and I was married until '63. And we was divorced, but I got Vicky every weekend. Then in '64, I think it was July of '64, is when I met Shirley Hawkup. It was a blind date. She lived in O'Fallon, Illinois, and a girl that she worked with, I went to school with, that after I was divorced, I dated Gladys for 2 dates. And she told me, this ain't gonna work. You and I are two different personalities. But I know a lady that I'm working with that I'll introduce you to.
And you went to school with Gladys?
I went to school with Gladys. She was a couple of years underclass from me. But
What was Gladys' last name?
Starner was her maiden name. Now she's Larry Bauman's wife. But anyways, her and Shirley worked together at Angelica Uniform in St. Louis. So the St. Charles County Fair was going on, so she brought Shirley home from work with her the weekend, and Gladys and I and her date, which was Dale Cove. No, it wasn't Dale Cove. I don't know who it was. Anyways, we went to the St. Charles County Fair that was on the fairgrounds on right in St. Charles, or it wasn't at Wentzville then, because we're talking about 1964.
It's on Fairlane.
Yeah, it's on Fairlane. Well, then
It's where the convention center is now, isn't it?
yeah. Mm-hmm. And we went to the fair, and I don't know what, that was on a Saturday, and I don't know what we did on Sunday, but then I would take her home, take Shirley back home, and had no concept where O'Fallon, Illinois was at. You know, I knew where St. Louis was, but I don't think I've ever been to Illinois at that time. So we took her home, and I didn't think I'd ever get there. Drive and drive and drive and drive. I said, man, this gal lives a long way from here. And got her back home, you know, well, exchanged phone numbers and stuff, and we just started dating. That was in '64. We dated until '68. Then we were married in '68. And Cheryl was born in '69. I don't remember when Rhonda was born. What year was Rhonda born, Shirley?
73.
There you go, 73. But I do know Rhonda was born on my birthday. And that's the two girls that we had, with Cheryl and Rhonda. And we, like I said, then when we got married, we bought that trailer, put her on that half acre at Mom and Dad's, and we lived in a trailer 11 years before we bought this house. And here we are.
So you got married in '68, put the trailer on there in '68.
Actually, '67, we bought the trailer and put it on her, and we knew he was good, you know, he was going to get married the next year. So, in fact, I think the trailer was delivered. It's a '67, and that's the year, model year of it, and I think it was delivered like in November or December of '67, and we set it up there and everything. And in February of '68 is when we got married.
And then you lived there until 89?
80,
80? Yeah, 80. 11 years.
yeah. 1980s when, well, we bought the house in '79, December, but we didn't close on it till January of '80, so we are considered 1980s.
Mm-hmm.
We've been here in this house. That's,
And where did your girls go to school? Where did Vicky go to school?
but Cheryl and Rhonda went to St. Joseph in Cottleville, grade school. And then Cheryl went to high school at St. Mary's Academy in O'Fallon. And Rhonda went to school after grade school. She went to North, Francis Hall North.
Mhm.
Because, you know, we were living here and that was where North's area, you know.
Right.
Now Cheryl lives in the trailer.
Ah.
And she's got 2 daughters. One is gonna be 22 and the other one will be 7. She's got quite a span. In March, I think it is, or April. Rhonda has got 2 boys. Her and her husband live in Highland, Illinois. Little Dallas is going to be 9, and Devin is 6. They live in Highland on 5 acres.
And Dallas was born early in the year, right? Is his birthday coming up pretty soon?
Yeah, his birthday is, I think it's the January 5th, yeah. I know it's the first part of January. It's coming up pretty soon. I'm not sure, Devin's, when's the Devin's? His
June.
June, yeah. Devin's is in June. That's why we hold off from going to Texas right after Christmas, because we want to go to little Dallas's birthday. He's little yet, so we want to. The other grandchildren that were from Vicky's, from my first marriage, you know, they're in their 30s and mid-20s. They don't care if I'm here or not. Yeah, that business goes, and that's okay. We're all the same family. You know.
And her boys are?
Vicky's?
Mm-hmm.
See, John is the oldest. Is he
31?
I was going to say 32. He's 31. Jacob is 28.
28.
And Julie is about 25. John is, I don't know what his degree is in, but he works for some kind of oil company or petroleum company that buys leases for pipelines and high voltage lines and things like that. Jacob, I don't know what his degree is in either, but he works for SAK, which is an underground boring company. He's in the office. He don't go underground, but here in St. Peter's, or O'Fallon, I think they're from. And Julie is, her degree is in X-ray. She takes mammograms and X-ray stuff, you know. She's got a degree in that, and she lives in Gardner, Kansas. None of Ricky's kids have children, so we're not great-grandparents yet.
Gardner, Kansas? How far into Kansas is that? Is that?
It's right outside of Kansas City,
Okay.
because Julie works in Kansas City, so she can commute back and
It's
forth.
like a suburb of Kansas City on the Kansas side.
It's only on the Kansas side.
Yeah.
But she wanted to be close to where she worked. She just bought a house. And it was a lot more economical in Kansas, the housing, than it is in Missouri. So I guess it's kind of like if you know, St. Charles to work in St. Louis type
Right.
thing.
Were there any specific holidays that your family celebrated?
Well, we always did celebrate the typical holidays of, Christmas and Easter and Thanksgiving. Through the years, we always did it together, even with your mom and dad. But as each one of us families got bigger, you can't really do that all together because all the kids, nieces, nephews, and stuff got their own little things going with like you and your family and Lynn's family, and you can't get everybody together for a day. That just don't work that way. But like our family is still close. We just don't do the Christmas thing anymore. But now it's my immediate family do. Like with my siblings and my kids, we do, which is great. But it's the holidays are. The Christmas and the Easter and the Thanksgiving is the main ones, and every once in a while 4th of July is thrown in there, but that's the middle of summer and everybody's doing other things anyway. So, but otherwise, we all know where everybody's at. That's a good part. Even like your mom and dad, we're still together yet. We just don't get to eat together like we used to years ago.
Right.
It seems like every generation that changes when. Like your grandma or my mom was living yet, she always had something that we'd go to. But then Wayne and I and Gerald grew up, but you guys were little, so that was easy to combine that group together again until you guys get bigger and everybody's got different stuff to do, and it ain't that you fall apart. It's just you don't get to do all the things together like you used to do.
Now, I know that when I grew up, we had certain things like if you made an honor roll, we got to go out to eat to Regazi, as you sure what that was,
Yeah.
which was always something good.
We talked about that just the other day.
To go to Regazi's for that. We got to pick our meal on our birthday, so we all had our own little special favorite, right, that we would get to pick. Did you have anything like that with
Yeah, we did. Not so much being the honor roll or nothing, but we did a lot of birthday things like that. And we still do. If they want to go a certain place or something like that, we'll do that special thing. Or now it's getting to where, like if you would, for instance, this last Christmas when Vicki had, and Otis, her husband, had, our family Christmas here locally, Julie wanted ham. So that was her niche, and that's fine, When we have Thanksgiving, and I'll fix a turkey, and Julie knows I got a soft place, because she was, I guess you'd say she was my first granddaughter. She would always say, Grandpa, because she wasn't crazy about turkey, I'd always have ham for her, and she knew it, So that kind of a tradition thing still goes. And Cheryl likes, putting her anything, but Cheryl always liked my chili or my barbecued ribs. So each one of us got their own little niche as far as eating goes, what they like, and it's kind of a traditional thing yet, still do.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun,
Is there a particular restaurant that you'd like to go to, or that your
Well,
family like to go to?
Usually we wasn't, not so much restaurant we did, because we did a lot of our own cooking and everything, going out, but like when our kids was little, we spent time, I guess from 1971 up until maybe the 90s, we almost was down Lake at Ozarks every weekend. Friends of ours had a club down there, and my boat was down there, and we just left it there, and we was Rhonda and Cheryl grew up, they were just regular water rats, you know. Vicky was, I'd get her every weekend, and we'd go down there with her, summertime now. And, I mean, like her and Cheryl were water skiing when Cheryl was 5 years old when she started water skiing. Vicky was older.
She was 6.
Who, Vicky?
Yeah.
Vicky, well, see, Shirley might have known. Vicky was 6 years old when we started pulling her, and Cheryl too. You know, they were water rats. Now, Rhonda, she was not the water skier, but she would boat ride all day long. So that was our main thing through the summer with our two girls, and Vicky was the Lake of the Ozarks.
Yeah, I kind of remember that too. Not that I went down there, but I think you took Kathy.
Kathy
down.
did. Kathy did. Oh yeah. Well, see, Kathy and Vicky was close to the same age, and those two gals formed a bond. Being, you know, maybe they weren't natural cousins, but they were cousins. No matter, you didn't get in between them anyways. They were buddies and they were cousins. That's the way they were raised. Oh yeah, she went down there with us quite a few times. But that was one of the big things during, of course, wintertime was always sleigh riding and what have you, things like that. But we really didn't have a favorite restaurant or anything. I mean, we all liked Peel's in St. Charles and Cavelli's. We'd eat there a lot after when Shirley and I was in the bowling league, and Cavelli's is not there anymore either. Peel's is yet. That was one of the mainstays. You know. Of course, everybody liked A&W. That was before there was a McDonald's or anything around here. That was another place we liked, restaurant-wise. That was about it.
Yeah, well, we didn't go out to restaurants all either, but that was
in special time.
Yes, we got to go to Regazzi's.
I do remember Regazzi's because
We did like Regazzi's.
well, see, that was another thing. We're working in St. Louis all the time. I've eaten there. You know, so it wasn't a big thing for me, because I could go there anytime I wanted to. But we was just talking about that the other day. We went down with Vicki and Otis and Julie and her boyfriend and Shirley and John and his girlfriend to see the lights at Busch Stadium, Busch Brewery, Budweiser Brewery. Well, on the way back, we're coming up, you know, so it's 64 now, but it's 40, and Shirley's even saying, where was that place at that Wayne and the boys would always go to? And was thinking and thinking and thinking. I could not think of what the hell it was, you know, I just could not. I knew I had it on the tip of my tongue, because we got talking about the hill. Well, when we got back to Vicki and Otis's house, I guess the news was on or something, and they mentioned, oh no, it was an advertisement, like for Christmas time, Regazzi's, and they said Regazzi's, and bam, the light went off. That's where it was. I could drive right to it, you know, but it just, I could not think of that name of that. Oh yeah, I've been there too several times. I did say, I don't know what's so special about this. I'd go to Peel's and get all the same thing.
Oh, it was. Now it's not quite the same as it was.
No. Well,
It used to be different because, and someone explained to me what the difference was. One of my colleagues at school who grew up in that area, because I went back and yeah, this was the late '90s, I guess, and I go, it's just not. The pizza was really, I really liked the pizza. I really liked the pizza. Their salad had a good salad too, and other stuff was good too, but the pizza seemed to be what was different than other places. Not that the rest of their stuff wasn't good too, but
right.
the pizza just seemed to be the
Specialty.
special thing. I wouldn't even call it their specialty, but it was special for me because I didn't seem to get it. What I got there I didn't seem to be able to get anywhere else. Well, I just go, it's not the same. Yeah, I went there and I go, it wasn't the geez, I can't wait to eat the rest of this pizza
Yeah,
I'm not gonna eat the whole pizza. I could eat the whole pizza, but I'm not gonna eat the whole pizza, so I got more tomorrow to eat. And I'm taking it home and I'm eating it tomorrow and I'm gonna look forward to it in a way and think, well, it's just, something's not the same. It's not the same. And then the guy pointed out, well, they don't make their crust anymore. They buy their crust. That's it. The crust is different. That's exactly it. And I go, that's it. The
Yeah.
crust is different. And it just wasn't, one thing that made it all much different, but it wasn't as
Right.
thin and as crispy. It was more thicker and doughier. And it was more like just a it was
it's
more
different, you know.
It was different. And it was more like, well, I can get this
Right,
somewhere else. It wasn't, but that's what made the difference, I guess. So anyway, that's my little addition to the
Yeah,
restaurant story there.
I understand that.
So, but we really enjoyed that a lot. All right, well, I think we'll call it good for now because I think we're about to run out of juice
Okay.
here on the machine. I had 50 minutes left, and I think we probably used that up. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop it for now.